As a chosen one, have you ever felt that traditional religious institutions just aren't resonating with your spiritual journey? While churches and other communal places of worship are often seen as sacred havens offering solace, enlightenment, and a sense of community, your path might lead you elsewhere. These sacred spaces welcome everyone with open arms, providing a sanctuary where the weary can find rest and seekers are met with warmth and understanding. Yet, for you, the true essence of your spiritual journey might just be found beyond these walls, in the solitude of your own spiritual quest. In the rich tapestry of spiritual exploration, a profound pathway is illuminated for those who dare to step beyond conventional norms, tailored especially for courageous souls like you, chosen ones. Transpersonal psychology plays a pivotal role in this journey, delving into the spiritual aspects of the human experience. It advocates transcending the ego to connect with a higher consciousness, a journey that deeply resonates with those who feel traditional communal rituals no longer suffice for their spiritual needs. As a chosen one, your path is often solitary, marked by deep discernment that enables you to navigate realms and energies overlooked by others. In places where many find unity, you might detect subtle dissonances, a disconnect between outward appearances and inner truths. This heightened awareness, a divine gift, serves as a powerful shield against misleading influences, allowing you to connect profoundly with the divine, unfiltered by the conventions and expectations of organized religion. The journey of a chosen one is beautifully framed by spiritual development models, such as James Fowler's stages of faith development, which describe a progression from simple literal beliefs to a complex and universal understanding of spirituality. You are likely navigating through these stages, gradually moving away from dogmatic interpretations prevalent in organized religion to embrace a more profound personal connection with the divine. This pathway is not just about reaching a destination, but about embracing the rich nuances of spiritual growth at each stage. Mysticism, with its emphasis on direct personal experiences of the divine, aligns perfectly with your solitary path. Practices like meditation and contemplation are not merely activities, but are gateways to transcending ordinary reality. These practices offer a direct line to the divine, unmediated by traditional conduits of spiritual practice, fostering a personal bond with the divine that is free from the constraints and expectations of external authorities. Integral theory, developed by Ken Wilber, further enriches your spiritual journey. This theory integrates insights from various disciplines, proposing a holistic growth model involving the body, mind, soul, and spirit. It underscores the importance of embracing every aspect of your being as part of your spiritual quest, and advocates for a balanced approach to spirituality that acknowledges the complexity of human existence and the interconnectedness of all life facets. Archetypes and symbolism, drawing from Carl Jung's theories, also resonate with your spiritual narrative. The archetype of the chosen one represents a transformative journey akin to the hero's quest, marked by trials, revelations, and enlightenment. Your decision to step away from traditional religious institutions and embrace a solitary spiritual path exemplifies this archetype, reflecting your bravery and deep commitment to seeking higher truths. Each of these components, transpersonal psychology, spiritual development models, mysticism, spiritual disciplines, integral theory, and archetypes and symbolism, converge to form a comprehensive framework that supports your decision to explore spirituality outside the confines of traditional churches. As you continue on this path, remember that your journey is both personal and profound, a true expression of your role as a chosen one in the quest for spiritual fulfillment. By walking this unique path that favors solitary worship over communal gatherings, you showcase the courage to stand alone, guided by celestial light towards authentic spiritual truth. This journey is enriched by incorporating spiritual disciplines such as meditation, fasting, and prayer, which are essential tools that help deepen your connection with the divine. These practices enhance your spiritual resilience, enabling you to maintain your spiritual focus and strength in a world that often values material over spiritual wealth. As we delve deeper into the essence of what it truly means to be a chosen one, we uncover that the path less traveled is often the one that brings us closest to the divine. This journey, unshackled by the confines of traditional religious institutions, calls for a profound connection to the divine that is unmediated by convention or expectation. Now, let us explore how this unique connection resonates through the cosmos, echoing in the chambers of universal truth, and how it stands in stark contrast to the disillusionment many feel within the walls of organized religious institutions. The chosen one feels a profound connection with the divine, a bond that isn't governed by the usual expectations or traditions. Their spirit communicates with the infinite, and this sacred exchange echoes throughout the cosmos, resonating with truths that hold existence together. Walking this path is an act of courage, as the enlightened are guided by a higher light, each step illuminated by the divine's wisdom. It's not an easy journey, but it is one filled with meaning and purpose. In a time when many expect places of worship to offer hope and spiritual guidance, there is a growing disappointment. Churches, once seen as places of communal reverence under the divine's presence, are increasingly shaped by worldly concerns like politics and spectacle. The pure spiritual essence, the simplicity of Christ's teachings, is often overshadowed by the complex structures of organized religion. Instead of drawing people closer to the divine, these structures sometimes push them away, lost in the noise of human influence. True spiritual connection can't be contained by the rigid frameworks of human-made doctrines. The divine isn't limited by the boundaries we create, as the cosmic order that governs existence goes far beyond earthly divisions. Those who genuinely seek the sacred are called to rise above these constraints, to look beyond the superficial barriers that cloud our collective spirituality. The divine sees all and is not fooled by the hidden agendas or power struggles within our sacred spaces. We are not called to give in to despair, but rather to reignite the pure, shining spirit that once defined the early days of Christianity, a time untouched by human corruption. Our mission is to return to the heart of worship, where each quiet prayer and every act of devotion joins an eternal song, resonating through the ages. This sacred melody stretches across time and space, reminding us of the divine connection we all share. As we navigate this sacred path, it's essential to understand that faith is often purified through hardship. These trials polish the soul, allowing it to reflect the divine light more clearly, making the spirit shine even brighter in the face of adversity. The challenges we face are not meant to break us, but to strengthen the bond we have with the divine. Unfortunately, within the very spaces meant for spiritual refuge, an unsettling coldness often creeps in. Judgmental looks, whispered conversations, and feelings of exclusion can cast dark shadows over what should be sanctuaries of acceptance and love. Today, many spiritual centers feel more like exclusive clubs, creating a sense of division rather than welcoming all into the embrace of the divine. This shift signals a departure from the true spirit of community and unconditional love that should define these places. This troubling transformation calls for deep reflection on how our sacred spaces function. We are urged to reclaim the inclusiveness and compassion that should be at their core. As we stand within these places of worship, it's essential to ask ourselves whether they truly reflect the open-hearted nature of the divine teachings they were built upon, or if they have merely become reflections of the divisions we see in society. In various spiritual circles, some individuals develop rigid attitudes, acting as vigilant sentinels upholding established customs and practices. These people tend to form exclusive cliques, interacting mostly amongst themselves and thus creating a closed-off environment reminiscent of a locked tome. This behavior often results in newcomers feeling alienated and sidelined, perceiving these social gatherings as inaccessible as the imposing walls of a citadel. Such an unwelcoming atmosphere discourages them from returning, compelling them to pursue their spiritual journeys in solitude. This dynamic runs counter to the essential purpose of spiritual communities, which is to forge connections, transcending mundane interactions, and to spark a collective illumination, guiding every seeker towards enlightenment. As guardians of these spiritual portals, it's imperative to dismantle these barriers and extend a warm welcome to all, making sure that every individual feels included, cherished, and supported by a community dedicated to nurturing their spiritual growth. Instead of exemplifying unity and cohesion, a glaring contradiction often surfaces in these communities between their sacred missions and the secular actions of certain members beyond the hallowed confines of their gatherings. Those who arrogate roles of significance unduly and adorn themselves with unearned titles of authority ought to reconsider their roles. They frequently behave more like self-aggrandizing characters than genuine spiritual mentors, cloaked in self-righteousness rather than humility. At these spiritual assemblies, newcomers seek genuine connections and acceptance, not exclusion or the chill of disregard. The insistence on uniformity in worship, driven by personal biases rather than genuine spiritual directives, contradicts the teachings of Christ and mirrors the rigidity of a stringent institution. This gap between the true essence of faith and its enactment breeds tension and unease, prompting many to seek comfort elsewhere. As these communities metaphorically and literally evolve into entities devoid of spiritual substance, it's vital to contemplate the real significance of communal worship. Pondering the objectives of spiritual gatherings highlights the need to align practices with foundational faith principles. By nurturing an environment where every participant, no matter their stage of spiritual development, feels acknowledged and comprehended, these communities can start to mend the divides fostered by exclusion. They can revive the dynamic, inclusive nature of true spiritual fellowship. Such contemplation calls for a renewed commitment from each member to cultivate a space imbued with unity and collective progress, steering clear of the traps of division and isolation. Embarking on a spiritual journey means cultivating a welcoming space where individuals can uniquely connect with the divine. It's crucial to recognize that genuine enlightenment and a strong sense of belonging stem from displaying compassion, acceptance, and humility. This pursuit involves more than simple gatherings. It requires delving into the depths of each person's soul. Jesus provided a pathway to uncover truth and achieve spiritual fulfillment, characterized by profound acceptance. Yet, it appears that we have strayed from his teachings. Today, what we often encounter are mere echoes of his words, repackaged in a manner that seems spiritual but lacks the essence and profound significance that it should carry. I call upon the esteemed church leaders and long-standing faithful to heed this advice. Do not let your position or perceived importance cloud your judgment. The titles and ranks we assign ourselves on earth hold no weight in the divine realms. Jesus appointed no one as leader. These roles we assume are born from human ambition, not from divine will. It is essential to relinquish ego and pride. When you find yourself judging newcomers to the faith, remember, you're not assisting them. Rather, you're driving them away. People seek a community that offers warmth and acceptance, but too frequently they encounter judgment and exclusion. Our focus should be on constructing bridges of understanding and compassion instead of erecting barriers that separate us. True faith is not measured by our prominence within the church, but by the love and humility we exhibit. Let this be our guiding principle in leadership and service, ensuring that everyone we encounter sees a genuine reflection of the divine truths we strive to embody. As we progress on this path, let us motivate one another to introspect and challenge our own biases and preconceptions. While it's easy to get lost in the rituals and routines of religion, the essence of our faith is reflected in how we treat each other every day. We should aim to live out the virtues Jesus exemplified: kindness, generosity, and forgiveness, making them central to how we interact. Additionally, we must be aware of the messages we send within our communities. Often, actions speak louder than words, and our life choices can significantly demonstrate our beliefs. By living authentically and with integrity, we can encourage others to seek a deeper spiritual connection. Every day presents a chance to positively influence our surroundings and beyond. By embracing the principles of true spirituality, we set an example, illustrating that the path to enlightenment is not marked by judgment, but by an open invitation to evolve and learn in a supportive atmosphere. This continual journey is one of ongoing discovery, where each step we take not only enriches our lives, but also those of our fellow travelers. In our fast-paced modern world, the allure of spirituality often gets lost amidst the noise and distractions that fill our daily lives. As a result, many are moving away from conventional religious settings, seeking a more profound and personal engagement with their spirituality. This trend is indicative of a broader dissatisfaction with the current trajectory of religious institutions, which some feel should be steadfast and impervious to the ever-changing societal norms. Spiritual truths, seen as eternal and immutable, should serve as consistent beacons, unswayed by the temporal shifts around them. It is through their unchangeable nature that the essence of spiritual teachings remains pure and influential. Regrettably, numerous spiritual leaders who are charged with the duty of shepherding their flocks often veer off this sacred path. They succumb to the very darkness they are meant to dispel, replacing illumination with shadow. True spiritual dedication demands unwavering commitment. Anything less dilutes the very foundation of faith. It's no surprise, then, that many followers leave their spiritual homes feeling unfulfilled, plagued with doubts about the very purpose of their spiritual quests, as the connection they yearn for seems ever elusive. However, a true spiritual bond is not necessarily fostered in grandiose temples or during lavish rituals. It is found within the hearts of the faithful through sincere prayers and the resilient faith that guides them through adversities. Those in pursuit of spiritual truth must turn inward, anchoring themselves in the fundamental, unchangeable virtues of their beliefs, rather than being swayed by shifting doctrines presented by others. Unfortunately, many spiritual leaders fail to embody the depth of understanding and wisdom required of their positions. They may wear the mantle of leadership and assume the duties of guidance, but the spiritual light they are supposed to carry often burns dimly, eclipsed by personal shortcomings rather than enlightened by divine insight. When seekers approach these leaders for spiritual enlightenment, they are met not with the warmth and clarity they seek, but with indifference, reflecting a failure to deliver the love and direction expected of them. This gap between spiritual guides and their congregations fosters a profound sense of disillusionment, prompting many to wonder if genuine guidance is even possible within the institutions they once revered. Driven by a persistent faith, yet disillusioned with their leaders, many believers find themselves on a solitary spiritual journey, relying more on their personal connection with the divine than the teachings of outwardly faltering leaders. It is in these moments of solitary reflection that many discover that true spirituality is not bound by physical spaces or ceremonial pomp. Instead, it resonates in the quiet sincerity of personal prayer and the solitude where the divine presence feels most palpable. This realization ushers in a more personal, intimate quest for spiritual satisfaction, where the relationship with the divine evolves into a deeply private, ongoing dialogue. As more people turn to this inward-focused path, they rediscover that true spirituality is less about external expressions and more about the quiet, steadfast faith nestled deep within. Many communities that pride themselves on being open and welcoming often fall short of truly embracing diversity. While they promote inclusivity, in reality, they tend to cling to traditional ways, overlooking the valuable perspectives and innovations that new and diverse members can contribute. Authentic centers of spiritual growth are founded on absolute acceptance and profound transformation. These are not merely physical spaces, but environments where both old members and newcomers alike can develop and deepen their faith collectively. This fosters a supportive network that enhances both individual understanding and communal beliefs. As such, it is essential for spiritual leaders to extend beyond mere guidance and actively pursue knowledge that supports all those seeking spiritual comfort. In an era where many feel disconnected from their faith communities, it's important to recognize that the divine is aware of all that transpires. God is fully cognizant of each leader's true motives and is now calling upon new leaders to emerge. These individuals are tasked with rekindling the faith of those who have lost their way and guiding them back to authentic worship. God is summoning courageous souls and groups to embark on the crucial journey of reuniting those who have wandered from the path and guiding them towards the worship of the true God. This mission is elevated above earthly matters, aiming for a higher, untainted purpose. True worship demands that followers do more than simply attend church services. It requires dismantling the barriers that separate us and reaching out to the isolated or distressed, making sure everyone experiences the warmth of God's love and compassion. This active engagement is at the heart of genuine worship, blending personal dedication with a communal quest. As we explore this divine call, engage with us in the comments below. Share the word solitude if this message resonates with your spiritual path. Together, let's support each other in our shared quest for deeper understanding and connection with the divine. As part of a faith community, we are encouraged to look beyond ourselves and take real steps toward inclusivity. It involves more than just holding spiritual beliefs. It's about creating a welcoming space where everyone can find peace and purpose. This approach transforms the concept of community involvement, highlighting proactive care and empathy over simple presence. This continuous endeavor not only enriches individual faith, but also fortifies the connections within the community, ensuring that the church continues to shine as a beacon of hope and a haven for everyone. Directly engaging with those who feel left out or marginalized represents the deepest expressions of faith and unity. The essence of a church is not found in its architecture or the vigor of its fundraising campaigns, but rather in its authentic and inclusive approach, welcoming everyone seeking a deeper connection and spiritual growth. Churches that focus on cultivating a community centered around spiritual values rather than financial contributions tend to thrive. Salvation transcends the physical boundaries of a church and is not tied to the financial contributions of its members. The pursuit of spiritual enlightenment is a deeper endeavor than the mere accumulation of worldly wealth. Churches that emphasize spiritual growth over economic considerations ensure that worship remains pure, free from the distractions of everyday concerns. Leaders who prioritize spiritual enrichment over financial solicitation often see an increase in donations as members give freely from a place of conviction rather than obligation. A church's role is not to gatekeep spiritual truths, but to facilitate an exploration of spiritual life. Its leaders should act as guides, offering gentle direction instead of exerting control, allowing the divine order inherent in spiritual gatherings to prevail naturally, shaping the community as a river carves through a canyon. Within the serene atmosphere of our church, those who seek spiritual enlightenment embark on a profound journey to connect with the transcendent essence of Jesus. Newcomers to our spiritual family seek more than solace. They aim for a transformational experience that strengthens their spiritual connections. They face a subtle yet significant challenge, like a glass door that displays the beauty within yet impedes complete entry into a closer spiritual relationship, stemming from the initial hesitance of existing members to fully welcome and integrate new individuals into the spiritual community. As these seekers find their place within the church, they realize that true spiritual intimacy involves not just individual dedication, but a collective effort to dismantle barriers that prevent true integration. The faith journey is thus a shared endeavor, enriched by each person's contribution to the communal spiritual life. With every step, they uncover more divine truths, experiencing an ever-evolving and deepening faith journey that knows no end. Leaders within our religious communities must approach their roles with zeal and dedication, openly embracing everyone who comes seeking solace and spiritual direction. Those who find themselves unable to meet these demands should step aside, to allow individuals who can wield such influence effectively, as the role of religious institutions is more vital than ever. We are on the cusp of profound spiritual changes, often depicted in holy writings as the end times or the beginning of sorrows. At such pivotal times, the importance of a church that offers hope and stands as a bastion of faith is paramount. It's crucial to realize that spiritual development is not just about welcoming people through the doors. It involves tearing down the barriers that create division and alienation among us. There is a pressing need to cultivate an environment of unity and acceptance where everyone can feel truly a part of the spiritual family. This task is both holy and urgent, demanding us to transcend everyday concerns, to look beyond what is visible, and to engage with the spiritual. Today, for the Church to remain a beacon of truth, it must embrace a process of internal change. The historical walls of the Church should echo with the unconditional love and acceptance that Jesus demonstrated to all, from tax collectors to fishermen. It's essential for the regular members who are comfortable within their community's confines to openly embrace newcomers and show genuine warmth in their welcome. It is crucial to dismantle the barriers of exclusion, as each individual entering the church has an inherent ability to perceive whether they are truly welcomed. Any sense of discomfort in a place meant to be inclusive, yet feels selective, impacts more profoundly than any words could. This unease isn't due to racial or ethnic distinctions, but stems from an entrenched clique mentality that puts seniority before spiritual inclusivity. The prevalent mindset of, "I was here first, so why should I make an effort?" must be eradicated, like weeds pulled from a garden meant for communal peace and fellowship. As we endeavor to render our spiritual communities more inclusive, it's not merely about policy changes, but about transforming attitudes and beliefs. The real strength of a church is not reflected in its sermons or physical presence, but through the love and acceptance it extends to every individual, irrespective of their past. In these trying times, our churches need to not only advocate for acceptance, but to embody it, transforming every interaction into a chance for grace and collective enlightenment. This transformation demands continuous dedication and effort, ensuring that each person feels an integral part of a dynamic, spiritually connected community that values diversity and fosters deep spiritual bonds. Everyone's spiritual journey has the potential to transform our church into a place that truly mirrors the virtues of heaven. It's not simply a matter of taking action, it's about wholeheartedly adopting and reflecting the foundational values of love, acceptance, and unity that are central to our faith. Our church should serve as a safe haven where everyone is enveloped in divine love, without anyone feeling isolated or desperately trying to find their spot among their peers. True Christianity doesn't involve judgments or feelings of exclusion. Our worship should be liberated from the earthly barriers of criticism and bias. We need to confront a serious issue with resolve. There are increasing indications that we are drifting from our spiritual foundations. This observation isn't meant to dishearten, but to ignite a sense of urgency for substantial change within our spiritual gatherings. By joining forces, we can unlock the full potential of our communities, allowing them to flourish like a lotus that opens up to the morning sunlight, its splendor highlighted by the radiance of truth and unity. Increasingly, many believers, disenchanted with conventional worship and the shadows of politics and pretense that linger in religious circles, are finding their spiritual paths in more individual, secluded practices. This shift isn't merely a response to the shortcomings of organized religion, but represents a heartfelt turn towards a deeper, more personal communion with the divine. This move away from traditional religious settings points to a deeper longing to reconnect with the pure essence of spirituality, unmarred by the dramas that frequently unfold in organized religious contexts. It serves as a reminder that the true place of worship lies not in structures of stone, but within ourselves, in the vast expanse of our souls, where solitude makes every breath a holy hymn of devotion. As you progress in your spiritual walk, may the peace of solitude strengthen you to deepen this sacred connection. Surrounded by God's grace in the stillness of the night, may you discover the power to foster this divine solitude, filling your heart with peace and devotion. In conclusion, the journey of a chosen one is a profound pilgrimage, intimately connected with the divine, often straying from the beaten paths of traditional religious practices. This adventure into the spiritual wilderness is deeply personal and transformative, prioritizing your unique discernment and the quest for solitude over the familiarity of communal worship. As chosen ones, your elevated perception allows you to peer through the veils of pretense that often shroud organized religion, cultivating a direct and unfiltered communion with the divine. As the spiritual landscape shifts beneath our feet, there emerges a pressing need to transform our communal spaces to truly embody the spirit of genuine spirituality, characterized by unconditional love, acceptance, and a relentless pursuit of personal growth. In this era of transformation, chosen ones like you are the torchbearers, guiding others with bravery, resilience, and an unwavering dedication to truth. Although this path can be solitary, it weaves into the grander tapestry of a spiritual awakening that not only revolutionizes individual lives, but also resonates through the collective soul of our communities. As we delve deeper into the essence of being a chosen one, we discover that the road less traveled is often the closest route to the divine. Walking this path demands the courage to navigate alone, guided only by celestial light towards genuine spiritual enlightenment. This journey is enriched by practices like meditation, fasting, and prayer, essential tools that fortify your spiritual connection. This narrative of solitary spiritual engagement isn't just about individual endeavor. It's a collective exploration into deeper understanding and connection. If this message resonates with you, If you find the call of solitary worship speaking to the depths of your spirit, then join our vibrant community of like-minded souls. Subscribe to journey alongside us as we unravel the profound mysteries and divine truths of this sacred path. Together, let's support each other in our quest for enlightenment and spiritual fulfillment. Click subscribe and turn on notifications to ensure you never miss a beat of this transformative adventure. Share your thoughts and the word solitude in the comments below if this message strikes a chord with your spirit. Remember, in this journey of the chosen, you are never alone. Join us and let's explore the uncharted territories of the spirit together.